Hey everyone. So here we are, we're live. We're doing the predictions for Wrestlemania weekend. We got NXT Takeover tomorrow night. Well, tonight, because it's already Saturday. This is a little bit later than I intended. Things got a little out of hand. There's a lot of stuff going on. If you've been watching the Glen's life videos, you kind of know what's going on. So I'm not going to waste a lot of time. We're going to get right into this and so forth. I'll be honest, I haven't actually given some of these a lot of thought, so a lot of this is going to be right on the fly. So we'll see how we do, and let's see what we got. So, let's go straight into NXT TakeOver. We'll talk about the first match. The first match, of course, being the unsanctioned match, as they're calling it, between the former members of DIY, Gargano, and Champa. So I'm going with Champa with this one for this one. I think it's about time. I think it's gonna put Gargano on the main roster. I would not be surprised to see him even show up at WrestleMania for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal as well, but we'll see. I think he is going to end up on 205 Live. I think he is. I think they've really got something going now with 205 Live now. I think they've kind of started to hit their stride, and they're definitely going to need some more talent as it eventually morphs into its own show and its own brand, completely separate from Raw. At least I hope that's what's going to happen, but I guess we'll find out. We'll see. I think this is going to be Gargano's last match with NXT, and then he will probably. I think we won't see him for a bit. I don't think he's going to show up. Like I said, I think he could show up in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but I don't think he'll actually show up on any of the main roster shows or 205 Live or anything like that right away. I think they'll hold off on that for a bit. I don't know. We'll see. As for Champa, I think they could turn Champa into the next contender for the NXT title, perhaps, or something like that. But I could see him also eventually hitting the main roster shortly as well. And also ending up on 205 Live as well, where they'll be able to continue their feud. I don't think this feud's going to continue in NXT. I think there's enough there. It's special enough that they could keep it going there. But we'll see. We're going to go straight into the next match. The next match we're going to talk about is the ladder match. This one's interesting because if you take away the fact that it's for a new title, I wouldn't know who to pick. Actually, because again, it's not even a case of hey, it's got Ricochet in it. This is his debut, so of course he's gonna win. It's also got EC3. It's his debut. Obviously, both Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream have proven to be big draws for NXT as well. And, I think the WWE feels with Killian Dane and Lars Sullivan that they probably feel they've got the next Braun Strowmans on their hand as well. People who can get over the same way Braun Strowman has. With that said, now there's a new title on the line, and I'm not sure where they're going to go. And part of the reason why is because I'm not sure. I don't feel confident, I guess is the right thing, that they necessarily would have Adam Cole walk away with 2 titles. But at the same time, I also don't know that they'd let him walk away with no titles either. So I don't know. I under normal circumstances, if the whole injury to Bobby Fish hadn't happened, I would think that maybe Adam Cole would win. But I don't know that he will now. I don't think it will be Ricochet either, even though it is his debut match, or EC3. Well, see, I don't know. I think Velveteen Dream should win, but I'm not confident that he will. But I think I'll pick Velveteen Dream anyways. I think I'm going to go with Velveteen Dream regardless. I could see them going with like one of the bigger guys like Lars Sullivan or something like that. But I don't know. Yeah. I think I'm going to stick with Velveteen Dream. I think that's my pick. So, again, we'll just keep moving along here. We got the women's title match. Ember Moon, Shayna Baszler. This is another tough one. I do feel that they're thinking Ember Moon is going to be hitting the main roster soon. And Shayna Baszler is good. Like, don't get me wrong. She's a good wrestler. She plays the heel role very, very well. She makes even the most understanding fans hate her. Like we're talking like X-Pac level heat here. Yeah, I don't know that Ember Moon loses to Shayna, because part of it is it doesn't, like, let's be honest, Shayna Baszler's only real matches, other than the Mae Young Classic, of course, was a quick jump to right into this title feud. There was never any like building up to it or whatever. It's just what it is. And I don't know that I want to reward that in that sense. Like, it seems like it's like, oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. You get the title anyways. You know, and part of it is because I also cannot believe to this day that Billie Kay and Peyton Royce are still, in my opinion, two of the most underused talents in all of WWE, not just NXT. With that said, though, sadly, I'm going to have to say I think Shayna Baszler is going to win. I don't think she should, but I just think that with the way things are going, that's probably going to be the end result. So I think, and because I do believe Ember Moon's going to be, because that's the one thing. The one thing, if you always remember, the Raw and Smackdown right after WrestleMania, there's usually big debuts from the NXT roster. And I could definitely see Ember Moon being one of them. The other thing to keep in mind, too, is again, they're doing this Women's Battle Royal at WrestleMania. And they're, just like at the Royal Rumble, there technically is not enough women to maintain, to do that Rumble. Or that Battle Royal. Because if you think about the Royal Rumble, at the Royal Rumble, every woman on the roster was in that Royal Rumble, except for the champions. And they still had to borrow, and not Alicia Fox because she was injured, and Paige because she was injured, and they had to borrow 12 more people. That means even if Paige and Alicia Fox were healthy, that meant there was only 20 women. A battle royal traditionally is at least 20 people, right? Now they could do less, I understand that, but it's a 20 woman battle royal. Paige is still injured. She's not going to be in it. This time, neither is Nia Jax or Asuka, because they're in title matches. Yes, they have Ronda Rousey now, but she's in a match. Stephanie's in a match. So no doubt there's going to be some other women in this match, whether it's, again, some returning legends like they did for the Royal Rumble, or whether it's women like Ember Moon. So I'm getting completely off topic, but what I was going to say is I don't think Ember Moon's actually going to be in that Women's Battle Royal. I think she could be, if she, because again, I do pretty much think she is going to lose, unfortunately. I do think that she will be one of the surprise appearances either on Raw or SmackDown. as new roster, as new main roster people. I don't think she'll be in the Women's Battle Royal. I'm hoping that there will be others, though, but we'll get into that when we get to that match. Next, we have the tag team title match, and it's also for the Dusty Cup. My gut says that the Undisputed Era will retain the tag team titles. Ooh, excuse me. Live video. My gut says it will be the Undisputed Era. But I don't know for sure, obviously. I would like to see Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne win, but that does make Pete Dunne a double champion, which, let's be honest, there has not been a double champion in WWE for a very long time. Not to say that it can't happen. Again, potentially if Adam Cole wins the North American title and they retain the tag titles, then that theoretically also makes him a double champion as well. So there's two potential ways that there could be a double champion by the end of the night. So it's not within the realm of impossibility. It definitely could happen. I want Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne to win, and so for this one, I am going to go against my gut and go with who I want to win, which is Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong. So that is my pick, and that's who we're going with. And we're not going to really talk too much about it else beyond that. The other reason why I also don't want Undisputed Era to win is because they weren't in the actual tournament for the Dusty Cup, and I think it would be really silly. It's like, oh, the winners of this year's Dusty Cup are guys that weren't even in the tournament. I think the winners of the Dusty Cup should be one of the other two teams, and I don't think Authors of Pain are going to win it twice. So I'm going to go with Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne. Next up, final match on the NXT show is the championship match between Andrade Cien Almas and Aleister Black. If you had asked me just after he had won the title from Drew McIntyre, I would have definitely said it's going to be Black. But now I'm starting to have some doubts. I also don't think every title's going to change hands. And, I think as much as the fans probably want to see Aleister Black win the title, I think it would be cool to have him keep chasing for a little bit longer. I think obviously it won't be a clean win, obviously. Like, let's be honest, how could it? With Selena Vega at ringside. So I'm picking Almost to retain. Did I pick all heels? Well, no, I guess not, because technically Roderick and Dunne aren't really heels. But yeah, other than that, I guess I picked all heels, didn't I? Because I said Champa, Shayna, Velveteen Dream, although he's over like a face, so yeah. So interesting. We'll see how that actually plays out, though. I could be way off. But yeah, I'm going with Almost to win. Because I think he's been actually turned out to be a really good champion. And it's funny because I really wasn't sold on him as a character. I thought it was stupid that he got a title match against Drew McIntyre in the first place, and because I really didn't feel that he had any actual real momentum or anything going into the match. But since then, he's turned out to be outstanding. The feud with Gargano was fantastic. So I think they're going to keep the title on him a little bit longer. It is always more fun to watch a face chase a heel for the title. I think that's where we're going to go. So that would be NXT Takeover. So just to recap, we picked Champa. We picked Velveteen Dream. We picked Baszler. We picked Dunne and Strong. And we've picked Andrade Cien Almas. So that's our recap of those matches there. So let's get into the WrestleMania stuff. So there's the Women's Battle Royal, and unfortunately, I do kind of think it sucks that they're doing the two battle. Okay, so first of all, bone to pick with the WWE. Stop calling it the first ever Women's WrestleMania Battle Royal. Because it's not. We've had Women's Battle Royals on WrestleMania before. So to keep calling this the first ever Women's Battle Royal at WrestleMania is a lie. Period. Like, yes, I mean, I get it. It's a different era, and it does actually mean a little something more this time, but they had the whole controversy with the Fabulous Moolah, calling it the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal. I know Chris Jericho suggested on Twitter to call it the Sensational Battle Royal in honor of Sherry Martel, which I actually think is a great idea. I don't know if it will happen or not. I think they would, if they were going to do it, they would have done it by now. But then again, we didn't know they were introducing the women's title back when they did. We expected that it was going to be a Divas titles match with Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha a couple years back. And then on the pre-show, they came out and they said, oh, by the way, it's actually going to be for the WWE Women's title because they're no longer divas, they're superstars. And who knows, maybe they'll do the same thing. Maybe at the last minute they will introduce that it is the Sensational Battle Royal. Or any other deserving female person. I mean, I know they had the quote-unquote Mae Young Classic already and so forth. That doesn't mean you can't name the trophy after Mae Young as well. There's lots of people that they could definitely go for. But yeah, I think Sherry Martel would probably be one of the best choices out of all of them. But anyways, I digress. Obviously, the women on the screen is from the WWE.com video. Video, not the video. Their website for the preview of the match. We know, obviously, there's going to be other women in this match. We know, obviously, Sarah Logan. Like, it's kind of funny because, like, there was women that was already announced for the match by the time WWE posted this, and they're still not even in the picture. So we know, obviously, Sarah Logan, Liv Morgan. We know, obviously, Absolution are all going to be in this as well. We know Carmella's in it, and so on. With that said, and by the way, speaking of I also mentioned earlier about how the WWE technically only has 22 main roster women, and 4 of them are involved in title matches, and 2 are currently injured. There's actually a third that's also injured as well. I mean, Alicia Fox might be cleared for all I know now. I don't know. She was at the Hall of Fame tonight, so and she looked okay, but then again, I don't think they ever fully disclosed what her injury was in the first place. So it's hard to tell. But Tamina is also injured at the moment, and I'm fairly certain that she's not even close to being cleared. Anyways, with that said, two of the women that I expect to see appear in this battle royal are hopefully Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, because as I mentioned, most underutilized. They actually haven't been on NXT TV for months. They were even off all the house shows and so forth, the live events. They just recently returned to live events, according to Peyton Royce's Instagram. And we do know, because they've both been posting stuff on social media, we do know that they are obviously at WrestleMania weekend. They were announced for to be part of some tournaments that were going on during Fan Access, where the winners actually get shots at the NXT titles on the same day as WrestleMania. So this is what seems okay. So, for example, and I know I'm going off topic again. Ember Moon has to defend her title at NXT Takeover on Saturday night, already knowing that even if she beats Shayna Baszler, She will then have to defend the title the next morning against somebody else. Like, I'm like, wait. I don't have a problem with them having these number one contenders tournaments for the NXT titles during Fan Access. I think that was a good idea. The fact that they get their title shots like literally the next morning after the actual big NXT Takeover event is kind of dumb. And I have a feeling they're going to do something with that too. I could see somebody actually losing their title WrestleMania morning. After that Takeover, we find out, oh yeah, they did. Like, I could even see it, like, even though I picked Baszler to win, I could see Ember Moon actually retaining the title at NXT and then losing it to whoever wins that tournament the next morning. And then that being part of the whole WrestleMania pre-show stuff. But, whatever. Anyways, so I'm hoping to see Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, because again, I think they're two of the most underutilized women in the entire WWE. As for who do I think is going to win the Women's Battle Royal, I have no idea. Like, I don't even know where they would go with this. This is probably always the hardest match to predict, because it's usually more of a, okay, we want to put our... It's kind of like WWE's way of saying, like, if you look at the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, with the exception of really last year, because I don't care how many times they sit there and talk about how it propels somebody's career, it really hasn't propelled anybody's career that much. I'd say the two that have probably seen the most success is obviously Cesaro and Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin won Money in the Bank after that. He's been the U.S. champion for quite a while. He had a nice run on as U.S. champion. And obviously Cesaro has had a great tag team run since then. But that even came years later. It's not like it came right away. It really hasn't, like, and I don't think it's Mojo's fault, but, like, what has Mojo Rawley done since winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? Nothing. And he's in it again. So, I know it's supposed to be an indication of who the WWE wants to propel forward. But I don't know that it's going to happen. So, you know what? Screw it. I pick Peyton Royce to win the Women's Battle Royal, even though I don't even know for sure that she's going to be in it. There you go. That's my pick. Because it could be just like when Baron Corbin won it. We didn't know he was going to be in it either. He just all of a sudden it's like, hey, there's Baron Corbin. He was on NXT last night. And boom. Not only was he in it, he won it. So, yeah. Screw it. We're going to go with Peyton Royce. Peyton Royce is going to win. If I'm wrong, well, I had a pretty much 1 in 20 chance of being wrong. 1 in 20 chance of being right anyways. I had 19 chances to be wrong. And since we don't even know who all the participants are, those odds aren't accurate anyways. So, let's get moving along. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, also during the kickoff show. Again, no idea, because we don't even know everyone who's going to be in it. So let's just randomly think of somebody who we think might win it. And let's go with... screw it. We'll go with Matt Hardy. He's not going to win. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm wrong already. I can tell you right now I'm wrong. But we'll pick Matt Hardy. I don't know why. We're just going to pick Matt Hardy. Yeah, let's move on. The next match after that, which is also on the kickoff show, is the Cruiserweight title match. I could see this going either way, but at the end of the day, and yeah, I am moving a little bit faster now because I'm a little bit more confident in some of these picks anyways. At the end of the day, I think they've teased Cedric Alexander long enough. I think it is his time. I don't know that he's going to be champion for long, mind you, because again, I see a lot of changes coming to 205 Live, and I think not like, you know, like in the way of new faces and so forth. So I could see him moving up. You know, it looks like the next feud is going to probably be with Buddy Murphy as well. So we'll see where that goes and so forth. But yeah, I think Cedric is going to finally capture the Cruiserweight title. We got the Raw Women's title match. Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. As much as I'd love to see Nia Jax win the title, because first of all, I don't like the way they book against Nia Jax. I do know that is very much her in real life. If you're like me and you have the guilty pleasure of Total Divas and so forth, you know that she isn't always the most confident woman and so forth because of her size and so forth. And she really has no reason to be, because I'm sorry, she is a beautiful woman. You can debate that all you want, but she is. And I think she has every right to be confident as a human being and as a powerful and beautiful woman. Alexa Bliss obviously makes an amazing heel. She's fantastic at her job and so forth, no doubt. With that said, I don't know. I just don't like the way they book Nia Jax. I know it does play off her real life insecurities and so forth, but I think she should be portrayed more as a more confident character on TV, and not let stuff like Alexa Bliss get into her head all the time. But I know it makes for good storytelling and so forth, and it does help teach a valuable lesson to all the little kiddies out there and so forth. So that's not a bad thing, obviously. But I don't think Nia is going to win the title. I really don't. As much as I'd love to see her win the title finally, and so forth, I think I think this feud's gonna go on a little bit longer. I do think Nia will eventually win the title from Alexa. I just don't think it's happening yet. That's it. Moving on, we've got the Smackdown Women's title match. Bottom line, the undefeated streak's not ending. Asuka's going to be our new SmackDown Women's Champion. I'm sure the match will end with probably like a handshake in the ring or whatever at the end. I think there will be a rematch down the road. Obviously, I don't think Charlotte's going to win it. I'm not sure where they go from this, though, of course. Obviously, eventually Asuka has to lose. But I don't know. We'll see what happens and so forth. Bottom line, Asuka's going to win the title. I really don't know where they go from there. Maybe Ember Moon shows up on SmackDown. It would be dumb to make her the next contender that quickly, but WWE's done stranger things. So, anyways, either way, Asuka's your new women's champion for SmackDown. We got the IC title triple threat match. There's a rumor Samoa Joe's going to be entered into this match last minute, kind of how the Hardys were entered into the Raw Tag match last year, last minute. I think that would be an amazing addition, in which case I would assume Joe's walking away with the title. I don't think they're going to let Miz be the quote-unquote longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. Oh, it's a shadow. It's like, that looked weird on the back there, but it's a shadow. Okay, anyways. I don't think they're going to let Miz be the quote-unquote longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. And, there's always the booking rumors that the WWE doesn't believe in Finn Balor. I don't think that's actually true, but I don't think he's winning either. Assuming Joe's not in the match, and I don't think he will be, but if he, like I said, if he is, it's Joe. Otherwise, again, I don't think he's going to be in the match anyways, and I think Seth Rollins is going to win the Intercontinental title. I think what's going to happen is, well, you know what, I'll talk about it more when I get to the end of the thing, so we'll just move on. U.S. title match. We got Orton, Rude, Mahal, and Rusev in a fatal four-way. This one's a little hard to pick, to be honest. I could see them going in every direction. I could see them keeping the belt on Orton. I could see them having Rude get the title back. I could see Mahal getting his first U.S. title run. And with the popularity of Rusev right now, I could see them giving the title to Rusev as well. Again, with that said, I don't think they're going to keep the title on Orton. I think this is going to be another title change. Part of me thinks they're going to go with Mahal. But I'm gonna go more with my heart on this one again, and I'm gonna say Rusev. I'm gonna say Rusev is gonna win the U.S. title. I think the WWE is gonna try and capitalize on his popularity right now, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think it's why he was added to the match in the last minute to begin with. Moving on, we have the Raw Tag Team title match: The Bar versus Strowman and the partner of his choice. So, of course, the fun part is, first of all, who's going to be Strowman's partner? I've definitely seen a lot of suggestions online about who his partner could be. And honestly, I'm not sure who it will be. I've also heard Samoa Joe could be his partner, which I think would be amazing. I know even though he threw Curt Hawkins through a wall, a lot of people online are still saying it's going to be Curt Hawkins. I don't think it will be. I could see it being somebody from NXT. I don't think it will be Johnny Gargano, though, obviously. Nothing like that. It'd be interesting if it was like Lars Sullivan. That would be interesting. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know who his partner's going to be. My gut tells me that whoever his partner is going to be is going to screw up somehow, tag himself into the match, even though Strowman's going to be in the match pretty much the whole time, dominating. His partner will tag himself in just as Strowman's about to win the belts, and he'll somehow cost him the match. And I think the Bar will end up retaining the tag team titles. Another rumor I heard who could be Strowman's partner is the Big Show, which I think would be an interesting pairing, but we'll see. For the record too, I also have not watched the rest of the Hall of Fame yet. I've only just gotten to the end of Ivory's speech. I had to work tonight, so by the time I got home, the Hall of Fame was already halfway through anyways. So it's recorded. I'm slowly catching up, but anyways. And then I realized what time it was and was like, oh crap, I gotta do this first. Because I'll probably have to go to bed after this anyways, which means I won't even finish the Hall of Fame till tomorrow night, which I'll do before I watch NXT, which means I'll be behind on NXT and everything else. Good times. Anyways, yeah, I think the Bar's going to retain, because I think they're going to pin whoever Strowman's partner is. If it was somebody like a Curt Hawkins or something like that, that would make perfect sense, but I don't think it's going to be Curt Hawkins. I don't know who it's going to be. Whoever it will be, obvious, because it's going to be somebody that Strowman can then feud with afterwards. It's not going to be... and he's not getting into a long-term feud with Curt Hawkins. I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen. Then we got the Smackdown Tag Team title match. This one's a tough call. So, this will be the first time the Usos have ever wrestled on the main WrestleMania card. They have never won a match at WrestleMania, even on the pre-show. The New Day have had matches on WrestleMania, but also have never actually won a WrestleMania match. Based on the dominance of the Bludgeon Brothers, obviously my gut says that they would probably be the most likely winners. But I don't think they're going to win. Honestly, I think the Usos are going to retain. I think the Usos are doing a good job as champions and so forth. I think we're going to keep the belts on them. I think the feud with the Bludgeons will probably continue for a little bit longer, but I think the Usos will keep getting lucky, so to speak, like not I mean, obviously not in the sense that they actually are lucky, but I think they'll like pull off like quick wins and so forth, you know, taking the bludgeons by surprise and so forth. But yeah, I think the Usos are going to retain as well. Then we got this match. This one's a tough one to call too, and the reason being is because it's Daniel Bryan's first match back. Naturally, you assume they're going to win. And don't get me wrong, obviously, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn could go to Raw because it only says that they're off SmackDown. But I don't think they're going to Raw. I don't know what's going to happen with this. I really don't. I don't know. My gut tells me that Owens and Zayn are going to stay on SmackDown, which means they can't lose. But I don't think Daniel Bryan's going to lose either. There is one possibility that I had thought about. One thing I was thinking is I could see something happening where Bryan and McMahon do lose, where Daniel and Shane do lose. And because of it, they end up arguing with each other. Daniel Bryan quits as a SmackDown general manager. Shane goes, well, fine, then I'm booking you in a match or something like that or whatever to try and get revenge against Daniel Bryan for quitting as GM. And then Daniel goes, you can't, I just signed a contract with Raw. And so he goes to Raw as a superstar. In which case, I would love to see The Miz actually retain the Intercontinental title to then feud with Daniel Bryan, because I think there has to be a resolution between with Daniel Bryan and The Miz from all that stuff from a year ago, a little over a year ago, when Miz was still on SmackDown. I mean, it doesn't have to be for the Intercontinental title, I suppose. Yeah, you know what? That's actually, you know what? That kind of supports my theory, though, too, that Owens and Zayn aren't going to lose. So you know what? It's probably not the right choice, but I'm going to pick Owens and Zayn. Then we got The Authority versus Ronda and Angle. This isn't a no-brainer. Ronda is not going to lose her debut match. So Ronda and Angle are going to win. Obviously, Ronda will make Stephanie McMahon tap, obviously. I'm sure Angle will somehow get his revenge on Triple H as well. I don't know where it goes from this, because obviously, again, this is going to be another case where I'm sure it's going to result in Kurt Angle being quote-unquote fired as the general manager of Raw. And then, in theory, he could then go to SmackDown and be Shane's general manager, I suppose. Although, honestly, I know on Raw, up until this started, Stephanie really wasn't on TV that much. And I think that works much better. You don't need to, like, both a general manager and a commissioner. I know the reason why SmackDown's had it so much was to work up to this storyline and so forth. Although I guess maybe months ago they didn't realize it was even going to come to that because of Daniel. But it was to build the tension and so forth. They needed the boring authority figures, which they had. Maybe after this, maybe Shane and Stephanie just run the shows by themselves after that without general managers. I don't know. Either way, it doesn't matter either way. At the end of the day, obviously Ronda and Angle are going to win. So there's not really anything else left to talk about there either. Then we got the WWE title match, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't think Nakamura's going to win. I know that's the popular thing to do. The winner of the Royal Rumble wins the big title and so forth and gets their moment. But it doesn't always happen. We know that doesn't always happen. We know in the past that the Royal Rumble winner has not always actually come out on top and won the title in the end. And I don't think it's going to happen this year. It's not that Nakamura is not over with the fans. Obviously, he is. I just don't. I think it's too soon. I still think it's too soon. Honestly, I think Nakamura has risen up on the card way too quickly. But I do think it will happen eventually. I wouldn't even be surprised if this is another feud that keeps going after WrestleMania. I could see AJ Styles going heel as well. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But again, I'm picking AJ to retain. And of course that leads us to the Universal title match. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. I know the WWE sometimes teases stuff, and it could be all this. Like, they could even have Dana White on this saying, oh yeah, Brock's coming back right after WrestleMania, blah blah blah. And I'm sure Brock's contract does actually expire. And I know they said if Brock loses the title, this is the last time you'll see him on Raw. But I do believe he is going to lose the title. I think Roman Reigns is going to win the title. I wouldn't be surprised if Brock's not actually gone, though, after this, and there's like a rematch. But I don't think anything's going to come of it. So what I was going to say earlier is, the reason why I was picking Seth Rollins to win the Intercontinental title is because I do believe Roman's going to win the Universal title, and I do believe Dean Ambrose is going to, when Dean Ambrose returns, they're still going to both have those respective titles, and he's going to be like, oh man, I need a title, or whatever, and they're going to do something where, like, Dean's going to go to Seth and it's like, let's get our tag team titles back and so forth, and they'll challenge the bar for the title, and something will happen, and I think Dean's the one who's going to go heel this time and break up the Shield this time. So yeah, either way though, Roman Reigns is going to win the Universal title. I'm fairly confident on that. And besides that, the only other thing that is a possibility is, are we actually going to get The Undertaker versus John Cena? And obviously, the answer is, I'm sure yes. I'm sure we're going to get The Undertaker versus John Cena match as well. Impromptu, I'm sure Cena will come out, he'll cut another promo, The Undertaker will come out, they'll have their impromptu match. The Undertaker's going to win, because here's the thing. If Cena wins, a lot of people are not happy about how this angle played out to begin with, because it did make Cena come off as like a entitled a-hole. And then if he wins, it's like, congratulations, you beat a guy who's an old man who was retired. This match doesn't need to happen. I mean, it should never even been brought up. I'm kind of upset that they're doing this, because like The Undertaker had the perfect send-off last year with Roman Reigns. I think it was a fitting end. I think it was well done and so forth. But to have him come back and wrestle another match against John Cena after that, I think is stupid. So with that said, screw you, John Cena. And that's funny, because I'm one of the people who always defends John Cena as a worker, but I'm not happy about this, and it's not really John Cena's fault either, because it's the bookers. Obviously, they're the ones that booked the match in the first place. But yeah, not happy about it, but it is what it is. I'm sure the match is going to happen, and if it does, no doubt The Undertaker is going to win the match. So again, let's go all the way back up to the top, and we'll recap everything all the way from the very beginning. So again, we're picking Tommaso Ciampa, we're picking Velveteen Dream, we're picking Shayna Baszler, we're picking Dunn and Strong, we're picking Andrade Cien Almos, we're picking Peyton Royce because we didn't know who else to pick. We're picking Matt Hardy because, again, we have no idea who to pick. Cedric Alexander, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Seth Rollins, Rusev, The Bar, The Usos, Zayn and Owens, Ronda and Angle, AJ Styles, Roman Reigns, and theoretically The Undertaker. So yeah, that's those are my picks. I'll be interested if anyone wants to share theirs in the comments section. By all means, go ahead. We'll probably come back and we might talk about this some more after WrestleMania. We'll maybe do an episode 13 and might start doing more of these videos again. But other than that, until next time, we'll see you later. If you'd like the video, please click the like and subscribe, share with your friends, or don't. Doesn't bother me one way or the other. So yeah, we'll see you soon. I'm sure we'll be posting more videos, live videos soon, whether it's this or something else. Until then, take care.